Welcome to SYNC-O-WICZ, your premier destination for election news and information. We are proud to present a brand new series designed to help you discover each candidate's platform. Join us where all candidates from all parties are welcome. Every candidate, every party, no filter. Let's jump in.
Hi, and welcome to SYNC-O-WICZ Presents Candidate Spotlight. I'm Linda SYNC-O-WICZ. I'm the founder and CEO of Fight Voter Fraud. And this is our new series, which is for introducing everyone to different candidates across the country. Today, our guest is Chris Carpiniello from California. And Chris is running for Board of Supervisors in the 5th District. Is that correct, Chris?
Yes, it is in Marin County.
Marin County. All right. Well, the first thing we want to do is have you explain to people, what is a Board of Supervisor?
The Board of Supervisors is the governing council of the county, of the entire county. So they set the budget, they decide where the monies are going to be spent. They're responsible for the election system in the county and many other aspects of county life. They handle all our assets of the county. And right now they're under siege from Sacramento, who has basically stolen our sovereignty and are doing our zoning for us, which is an issue I think we'll talk about a little bit later. But there's a lot more to it than that.
You also know a lot about elections and election integrity.
I do. I'm the past and current chair of the Marin Republican Central Committee Election Integrity Subcommittee. Began that journey in 2022, continued into 2023, and then I was off to other endeavors for a little while and was re-elected to that chair in 2025 and until current. So there's a lot going on there. The other endeavors I mentioned was an unaffiliated election integrity committee called the Marin Election Integrity Committee. For reasons beyond our control, we found it necessary to remove ourselves from under GOP control for a little while until our precinct strategies were played out. And so now our caucus is in control of the committee and we're back where we should have been the whole time.
And the reason you're running for Board of Supervisors is there's a vacant seat because the person who was in there before, you had told me earlier, is now running for another position. So this is the first time that you are running for the Board of Supervisors. So what would you like people to know about you that makes you qualified to be a candidate?
Well, I've been a general building contractor for about 40 years now in California. And over the years, I have watched as our local leadership has saw fit to ever increase our regulatory burden. And they've had a lot of help from Sacramento, but I've seen small business being attacked, quite frankly. And I think it has been a systematic attack on small business. I've seen every year regulation increase and increase and increase, and taxes increase every year to the point where it has taken a severe toll on my bottom line. If my name was Jeff Bezos, if I was one of the oligarchs, I would be in bed with them and we'd all be making money and laughing at the people. I'm here to help restore small business, to enable small business, to enable small housing providers, which have all been battered to death. And I'm very disappointed at our city councils and especially our Board of Supervisors, because I don't believe that they're working for the constituents. I think they mainly pay attention to special interest groups, lobbyists, Sacramento pressure at the expense of their constituency. So I'm here as a fiscal conservative. I plan on instituting thorough reviews of past and present budgets and expenditures, and not merely taking a look at how much money is spent, but where has that money gone and what was it used for? There's actually no oversight that I can discern. Recently, I was at a Board of Supervisors meeting, and one of the issues on their agenda was to limit their contributions to NGOs to less than $1 million in a calendar year. And as far as I'm aware, this removes them or exempts them from oversight and from auditability. So we've seen this happen in Minnesota, and I believe California's situation is far worse than Minnesota.
So basically, what most of us know is that California absolutely needs to be doged and everything looked into, and you would actually be representing the people in your community that have been taken advantage of for decades, actually, from what we gather. I mean, if there's no oversight, you want to make sure there is oversight.
Amen. I've seen a severe lack of oversight the whole time I've been here. Now, I've only gotten into the local political scene in the last 7 years or so. And prior to that, I had paid a lot of attention to the national scene. And I thought, the people here in Marin County, these are my friends, my neighbors, how bad could it be? And so I started going to, when COVID hit, I had a lot of time on my hands. My business shriveled up for a while, and I'm also a musician. My gigs shriveled up. I had a lot of time. So I started going to these meetings, grassroots meetings, local community meetings, as well as the Board of Supervisors and the city council meetings. And I was horrified at the things I saw. Every issue is an opportunity for them to increase our taxes and our regulatory burden. And it seemed to me that no one was paying attention to the people. I addressed them many times. When they see me coming, they roll their eyes and they go, oh gosh, here comes Chris again. What's he going to say today? But I always push back on their burdens on small business and small housing providers and just in general, their constituency. I don't think they're working for the people.
So in other words, you want to be the voice of the people. You've already been the voice of the people when you have been going to meetings and questioning things. But in this capacity, you would be able to make a difference.
I sure would. And I would also hope, I'm running in District 5. My good friend Mark Galperin is running in District 1. We've been working together for some years, and we do make a really good team. Together, we're very good at finding answers that do benefit the constituency. And we're both here to lift them up, to help them in their pursuit of happiness, to enable their prosperity, to enable abundance. We're being controlled here through scarcity. We have very limited water resources here in Marin. And that is also a product of Sacramento's interference. California has seen fit in my 40 years here to destroy 400 dams in the state. In Marin County, we have water problems too. And one fairly easy way that we can increase our water storage capacity is to dredge the reservoirs. But in the last several decades, the environmentalists, and I'm very environmentally oriented. No one wants to see the environment damaged. But I think some of the environmentalists have ulterior motives, let's say, and they've managed to get some laws passed that severely restrict our ability, let's say, to dredge our low-lying waterways. We have flooding problems here in Marin too. But getting back to the reservoirs, they have deemed that the spoils from such dredging are hazardous waste. So the mud at the bottom of a reservoir somehow has become hazardous waste. If you ask any farmer, that's fertilizer, and they would love to have it on their fields. But in California, it's illegal for us to dredge those spoils and place them on a farmer's field. We have to reverse these trends. It makes no sense at all. And the same thing with the waterways. We have flooding problems, and we haven't dredged our waterways in 40 years. So we have less capacity for drainage.
All right. I have a quick question for you. Oil floats on water. Oil is not underneath the water. So that's one of the things that I'm having a tough time wrapping my hands around, the fact that they're saying that you can't dredge because of the oils at the bottom of the reservoir. I mean, unless you're Jed Clampett and you
Well,
hit a gusher, I
I haven't heard
really
much
can't.
about oil, but please continue.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, I'm just thinking about this. Is if that's what they're saying is because of the oils at the bottom of the reservoir. Oils float.
Oils float and they'll go over, the spillway during the rainy season. I think what they're most concerned about is we have had, that's also our agriculture is under attack here as well.
Mhm.
And I really hope to help the farmers and ranchers in Marin who have been besieged. But I think their concerns are that the sediment in the reservoirs comes from runoff from farm fields where there's cow manure and possibly fertilizers. So we don't have the same problems as they have, let's say, in the foothills where the gold rush and they used mercury to mine and they used hydro mining. So the mercury wound up in some of the sediments in, let's say, in San Pablo Bay, for instance. But it's not in our reservoirs, mercury, and it's not in our low-lying creeks and rivers that are cleaned out over the years. There's never been any gold mining in Marin, so we don't have this mercury problem here. And we should be allowed to maintain our waterways and dredge our reservoirs to increase our capacity. We really don't have anywhere to add a new reservoir in Marin, and we're buying water from the Russian River. There's a lot to this issue, but I think we can address it, and I think we can get back to a sensible place where we can increase our reserves, can maintain our waterways, which would benefit every Marin resident.
And as far as your running, we want to let people know your different endorsements that you have. You've been endorsed by the Marin Republican Central Committee, the American Independent Party of California, the California Election Integrity Committee, Reform California, that's Carl DeMaio, Rachel Hamm, the 2022 candidate for California Secretary of State, the North Bay Young Republicans, Marin Chapter of California Republican Assembly, the CRA, and also Chris Bish, who is the congressional candidate for California in District 3. So you already have a number of people that are endorsing you to take this position. I know what you want is to have the people come out and vote. They need to come out and vote this November. So in order for people to get in touch with you, we have on the screen your email, and you also have your phone number that people can text. So I don't know if you want to tell people what those are.
ChrisCarpiniello.org is my website, and my email is chris-const-co@mindspring.com. And I welcome any voter, any reasonable voter, to call me. I usually answer my phone, and if I can, I'll call you back as soon as I can, or leave me a text. And I do most of my work on my phone. So if you need me quickly, call or text.
Okay. Well, I want people to know again, this is Chris Carpiniello. You are running for Board of Supervisors in the 5th District, which is in Marin County, California.
Yeah, we say Marin. Yeah.
Marin.
But my uncle Louis Villa Marin said it, Marin.
Oh, you should see me trying to pronounce some of the names when I have to talk about international stuff. So as we wrap this up, what would you like to say to the listeners right now?
I'm going to need your help. I'm not asking for any money. I vowed to spend less than $2,000 on my primary campaign. But moreover, I'm going to need help if I'm elected. I'm going to need your help to get elected, but I'm going to need your help if I'm elected because I want to crowdsource these investigations. I know the Board of Supervisors is not going to greenlight an audit or a thorough review of regulations and ordinances. So I'm going to ask the public through crowdsourcing to take on each of us a little piece because it's a monumental task, what I'm asking. But I think it needs to be done. And so I'm going to need a lot of help in order to do these investigations. I won't be able to do it alone. So I hope you'll help me. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we really appreciate your coming on our new program to help candidates. Again, it's SYNC-O-WICZ presents Candidate Spotlight. So we have all your information up there. We want people to go out and vote for Chris. So again, thank you so much, Chris, for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Linda. I really appreciate what you're doing and helping the other candidates as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing Mark's interview next. So thank you.
Thank you.